Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Time with Chris, the channel devoted specifically to movies, movie birthdays, movie reviews, trailer discussions, box office predictions, and some special videos along the way. Now, hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love the movie reviews, if you want the trailer discussions, if you love to compete in box office predictions, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel. You're going to get all that content and then some. Now, today is Monday. Yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. And I don't watch the Super Bowl. I stopped watching football shortly after I moved out of Philadelphia. But the big thing about Super Bowl is all the commercials. Everyone loves the commercials. And in this case, more so, I was interested in what trailers were going to be dropping. So this video, we're going to discuss the trailers that came out during the Super Bowl. So I'll try to go through these kind of quick and keep this video short. But if it runs long, it runs long. We're having a discussion here. So the first one we're going to talk about, the first set of trailers I'm going to talk about are for TV shows. And then I'll talk about the movie trailers. So the first one we're going to talk about is Clarice. Now, this show is basically following, oh man, I forgot her name. Clarice. Starling. That's it. Clarice Starling. The FBI agent from Silence of the Lambs, who Jodie Foster played. And this show is supposed to take place 1 year after Silence of the Lambs. The trailer really didn't show much. It was more or less like a flashback of the story that Clarice tells Dr. Lecter in Silence of the Lambs about the lambs, basically. It's almost like a flashback of her trying to save the lambs. I don't think that they need this show at all. I really don't. I think it's just pure fan service. The story of Clarice, we don't need to see what happens a year later. She's in the sequel, Hannibal, which came out in 2001. Silence of the Lambs was 1991. So 10 years later, they made the sequel, and they had Clarice in it. She was recast, but she was in there. So we know where she is now. We don't need to see a story a year later from the original film. But they're giving it to people anyway. Pure fan service. Honestly, I can see this show maybe getting at most 3 seasons, and that's really pushing it. I could see it maybe getting 2. And that's really it. I don't see a future for this show. I could be completely wrong, but based on the fact that no one needs this show, people watch Silence of the Lambs for Wild Bill and Hannibal Lecter, and Hannibal Lecter already had a trilogy. They had Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon. So why are they making this show? Pure fan service. I don't think they need it. It'll probably get 2 seasons. I think 3 would be pushing it, but that's my opinion. The next show we're going to talk about is Superman and Lois. Now, this trailer I enjoyed. I did. It basically shows Superman and Lois moving from Metropolis, and they're moving back to, I guess, Smallville. And, well, Clark's going back to Smallville. Lois is coming because now they're married. They have 2 kids. And in the trailer, Clark reveals to his sons that he's Superman. And this show is just basically going to be, how are they going to balance everything? How is Clark going to balance being a superhero, a husband, a father? How is Lois going to handle being a wife, a journalist, a mother? How are the sons going to handle the fact that, they're obviously in their late teens and their father just revealed that he's Superman? How is that going to impact them? How are they going to handle it? So this show's going to have a lot of emotion, I think. You're still going to get that action because, they talk about how the world will always need Superman, but the family needs Clark right now. So I think this show is going to be good. I can see them doing a few seasons of this show. Off the top of my head, literally the number that just popped in my head was 5. So we'll see if it gets that many seasons. But I think this, of the 3 shows that had trailers, I think this one will probably be the longest running. And I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how these characters balance everything that they have going on um, in their life. So we'll see what happens. The last TV trailer I wanted to talk about was Falcon and Winter Soldier, and this trailer was just absolutely enjoyable to watch. Um, you got your story, you got your action, and you got your humor, which is synonymous with Marvel. So you get Falcon and Winter Soldier back. You get Sharon Carter, she's going to be in it, and Daniel Bruhl comes back reprising his role of Zemo, which we saw in Captain America Civil War. So I think this show, of all the Marvel shows that they announced that they were going to be doing, WandaVision, Loki, this one was the one I was most excited for. And unfortunately, I think this show is just going to be a limited series. I don't think it's going to be running very long, as Marvel keeps busting out with their phases, and now they move into phase 4 and moving on to phase 5 later on. I think as the phases go on, they're going to phase this show out. And that's really sad, because I like these 2 characters. I like their chemistry together. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this show. But I'm sure it'll still be enjoyable. And I'm going to be there watching it on Disney Plus, checking it out. Now that I mentioned that that's on Disney Plus, I forgot to mention the others. Clarice is going to be premiering on CBS on February 11th. Superman and Lois is going to be premiering on the CW February 23rd. And Falcon and Winter Soldier will be premiering on Disney Plus on March 18th, I believe it was. Let me check that. March 19th. Falcon and Winter Soldier will be premiering on Disney Plus. So those are the shows. Be sure to check them out when they come out. And check out the trailers if you haven't seen them. So we're going to move on to the movies that had their trailers drop. Coming up on 8 minutes, so I'm going to try to go through these quick. The first movie we're going to talk about is Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, I really didn't know anything about this movie. This is the first trailer I've seen for it, even though I know they've had other trailers for it. But I read the synopsis more or less, the synopsis of what it is about. And it seems interesting. It's a fantasy world where dragons sacrifice themselves to save humanity from some kind of evil. Now that evil is returned, and Raya, character, goes on the hunt for the last dragon to kind of bring balance. So the plot of the story is very unoriginal. We've seen it many times, especially with the Disney movies. This is the first one, though. It's an animated film. It's the first one that actually takes place in Southeast Asia. So that should be new and exciting. And the animation in this just is off the charts. It's unbelievable. So from what I got, these are really the things that I think were best in this trailer. Am I super excited for this? No, not really. Will I check it out? Sure, when it's free on Disney Plus. But otherwise, Raya and the Last Dragon. The next trailer we're going to talk about is Old. This movie is directed by M. Night, and I love M. Night's movies. I really do. Signs, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, I think is his best film ever. Split, Glass. I could do without The Village and Lady in Water, but, Happening is another one I really enjoy of his. So I like M. Night's movies. I'm excited for this one. And the trailer, I never even heard of this movie before. And I did a previous video where I talked about movies coming out this year that I'm excited for. And now I have to add this on there. This trailer just had me. The story seems so original. The trailer starts out with a family. They're on their way to the beach for some R&R. And, there's the kids are out playing or whatever. It's a secluded beach. And one of the kids comes running back and he's complaining about his swim trunks being uncomfortable. And the mother says, they do seem a little tight. And if this was a movie, this is where the plot thickens, because we start to see that the people on this beach are aging at an accelerated rate. You know, the one child who was 6 in the morning is now in his late teens, maybe early 20s, you know? So it's like, oh my God, these people are on this beach. They're aging at an unprecedented rate. What's going to happen to them? How do they get off this beach? Is it going to keep affecting them? So many questions. And oh my God, I'm just so excited for this movie to come out. It's due to come out in July of this year. So it's a summer blockbuster. And it's going to be in theaters. And hopefully theaters are open by then, because I want to check this out in the theater just to enjoy it in that atmosphere and with other fans who are going to be watching it on opening weekend and getting that audience reaction. So I'm super excited for Old. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. Thank you, M. Night, for coming up with something original. Christopher Nolan is not the only one that's doing it. The next movie is F9, or Fast 9, or Fast and Furious 9, or The Fast and the Furious 9, whatever you want to call it. Why are they still making these movies? God only knows. Okay, they're making money. That's why they keep making these movies. Do we need them? No. The original Fast and the Furious movie was a great movie. It tapped into this market of underground street racers and everything that they do, and put all their money into their cars, and they love their cars, and it focused on the cars. It was Fast and Furious. That's what the movie was, and it was just great to watch. And then they started going downhill, and it only focused on, it went from focusing on cars, which is what it should be, to now focusing on family. And I can understand that. Okay, have I seen all the movies? Yes. Do I enjoy some of them? Yes. I enjoy the 5th one. I think the 5th one is the second best Fast and Furious movie that there is. But for some reason, they keep making these movies. And this one now is introducing a new character, John Cena, who's supposed to be Vin Diesel's brother. And what I can't wrap my head around is you have this whole series of movies that are focusing on family, and now you're introducing a brother to the main character. And it's a brother that we've never heard about, they've never talked about, they've never mentioned at all in any of the 8 films before. And now you're bringing him in for some reason? It doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. Also, them bringing Han back. I liked Han. I don't think he should have died. Do they need to bring him back? No, they don't. They killed him off. But now he's back? Like, I don't know. These movies are getting more and more ridiculous. It's like watching Sharknado. Why? Fast 9. And the last trailer we're going to talk about today, because we are coming up on 13 and a half minutes, it's kind of long, is Nobody. And let me tell you, the first time I saw the first trailer for this movie, which was probably 2 months ago, maybe a little bit less, I was hooked. This movie has an Equalizer, John Wick feel to it. And I love it. It's basically an average family man, a nobody, who, after a house burglary, decides to use his lifetime of skills that he's acquired against people like that, you know, taken from there. And it just, I'm so excited. So excited. This movie, I feel, is going to have just enough backstory to explain everything going on. It's going to have just the right amount of humor to keep everything light. And it's going to have a ton of action and violence throughout the whole film to keep you entertained. So this one is set to come out. Let me check my notes here. Sorry. I've got notes all over the place. I don't see when this movie is supposed to come out. I think it's March? Because Fast and Furious is... Raya and the Dragon was March 5th. Fast and Furious was May. Old was July. Nobody is supposed to be April 2nd. in theaters. April cannot come soon enough because I want to see this movie. But those are the trailers that came out during the Super Bowl. If you've seen any of these trailers, let me know your thoughts about them in the comments section below. As always, make sure you check out the Instagram Movie Time with Chris, where we're going to have the little snippets of everything that's going to come on the YouTube channel. Speaking of the YouTube channel, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell, because you don't want to miss any future videos that are going to be on this channel. Also, I'm back on Twitter, so you can check me out on Twitter, Movie Time with C1, and there I'll be posting just general stuff that I'm doing, working on Instagram, working on my blog, working on YouTube videos, so you can get some up-to-date information on Twitter. If you want to read my blog, it's www.movietimewithchris.com, and there you're going to see my review for Malcolm and Marie, and you'll see my breakdown of all these trailers that I just talked about. It is published now on the blog. And lastly, if there's ever a topic you want to hear about or a movie you want me to review, email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check that email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message, and the topic you want to hear about will be in a future video on this channel. But until next time, stay safe and take care.